Barbados' key foreign exchange earning sector, tourism, is continuing to experience a rough time in the current global downturn. The latest figures have revealed that for the first 9 months of this year, long-stay arrivals have been down by over 6%. Decreases have been recorded in all areas except for Germany, other Europe and Brazil. The information from President of the BHTA, Patricia Affonso Daas, at the third quarterly meeting of the BHTA at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre.
With statistics at September 27th showing arrivals down 6.3% overall on 2012, with declines in all major markets: UK 2.9%, Canada 7.3%, USA 9.6%, and Trinidad, our largest Caribbean market, 17.2%. This is of particular concern as we are showing declines against a year that was already down, and thus our actual result, if compared to the same period in 2011, our last best year, is even more significant, a decline of 11.56%.
Ms. Affonso Daas says there must be meaningful reform in tourism to enable the sector to recover, noting that innovation and implementation will be vital ingredients in this process to help reverse the negative trend.
To change the course of our industry, we must have a national focus that we can all subscribe to and believe in. Excellence, innovation, and implementation must be our watchwords. And we must show confidence and competence in order to drive competitiveness. Engendering confidence in our economic, social, political, and other policies must be a priority.
The head of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, is encouraging farmers to invest more in agro-processing. Mr. Paul says whether these opportunities to invest are created by the farmers themselves or offered by other entities, they should take advantage of them. Using milk production as an example, he said there would be significant benefits to the farmers and to the economy by extension.
Any agriculture produce that is sold locally, we stand 100% by. And I think that even in terms of the model, we must remember that in the past, the farmers actually, and there are still some farmers who actually do have shares in Pine Hill Dairy. Let us remember that. So the thing is really, what I would encourage is that where the opportunity arises for Barbadians to invest in local companies, let us at least try to get back some of those investments, because I believe a mistake was made when shares were offered to the farmers in Pine Hill Dairy, and they were not taken advantage of. But there are still some farmers who do still hold some shares.
Mr. Paul says the BAS is optimistic about Pine Hill Dairy's efforts to increase milk sales.
So we are seeing then a lowering of the prices, which is a special promotion that Pine Hill Dairy is doing in order to at least get rid of that excess stock which was built up. We also are anticipating also the launch of a promotion campaign for milk, which hopefully will also sensitize consumers as to the benefits of drinking milk. And we are hoping to that in itself will also stimulate sales within the local community. So these are the things that are being taken, and what we want to do is encourage consumers to take advantage of the current low prices which are being offered for the milk.
A failure to pay adequate attention to securing property has been blamed for an increase in burglaries across the island. Director of the National Task Force on Crime Prevention, Cheryl Willoughby, says this has been borne out by a recent study on burglaries in Barbados over a 5-year period from 2006 to 2011.
What that study showed us was that residential burglaries are being committed as a result of homeowners leaving their homes unattended, 1, and 2, they're also leaving their homes unprotected in terms of leaving windows open, leaving doors open, leaving keys indoors. So in essence, it is through the carelessness of homeowners that they are becoming victims of domestic burglaries.
Foreign Minister Senator Maxine McLean says the stability of coastal and marine resources are important to the survival of Barbados and the Caribbean. And she believes countries like ours should have a say in the shaping of the global development policy agenda. She was at the time speaking during the 68th session of the General Assembly of the United Nations in New York. There, she revealed that SIDS are constrained in their ability and capacity to craft independent solutions, and their debt situation is proving to be a barrier.
It is imperative, before we meet in Samoa, an opportunity be provided to fully ventilate this matter. In this regard, the relevant entity in the United Nations responsible for coordinating SIDS issues may want to consider convening a meeting of the finance and economic ministers of SIDS to discuss this issue and to put forward specific recommendations to be considered as part of the outcome of the 3rd International Meeting on SIDS.
There's a hunger in Barbados for an accessible forum where local theatre actors can showcase their creative talent. This from South African Zulu actress and movie playwright Tabeka Lambanda. She says Barbados has a rich history in African culture, and her time here has revealed that many youth are eager to showcase it. The South African musician says Africa harnesses that spirit of unity, and because there is no avenue for the African creative arts to be showcased in Barbados, many of the youth are losing their understanding of community spirit. She made the comment as she highlighted the theatrical presentation, Africa Meets Barbados, the first all-Barbadian cast in an African-produced film. This comes off today and tomorrow at the Queen's Park Steel Shed.
People are losing the importance of the person next to you. People are investing more in old age homes, but the elderly have a role in society. Children are being expelled from the process of growth because they're seen as an unworking force. So now the attention is mostly within the middle-aged, you know, and it's not helping our society. That's why our communities are filled with theft, crime, because there's no backbone, there's no point of reference to who does what within the community to ensure our success as a people or our survival.
Barbados is taking important steps to further improve the lot of the disabled. The island is about to fulfill a major requirement of the recently ratified United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Ernesto Drake's Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Care, Constituency Empowerment and Community Development has disclosed that the island is close to establishing a committee to monitor and implement some of the provisions of the convention. She was speaking at a workshop on understanding the rights of people with disabilities and the importance of state reporting at UN House. She says several organizations have already indicated to the ministry who their representatives will be.
We anticipate that we will be able to host the inaugural meeting of the committee in a few weeks' time. When all the nominees have been identified, currently a cross-section of persons from civil society, including persons with disabilities, a representative of the legal profession, the political sphere, academia, social protection agencies, and faith-based organizations will form the committee, among others. This committee will be charged in the first instance with the preparation of Barbados' national report to the United Nations in accordance with Article 35 of the Convention.
Ms. Drakes explains that the committee's formation and preparation of reports are important for the disabled community.
This comprehensive report will outline the measures taken by Barbados to give effect to our obligations under the Convention and on the progress made in this regard within 2 years after its entry into force. This will open the door for Barbados to receive technical assistance through the United Nations system that will enhance its capacity to not only implement the Convention, but also to promote the full and effective participation and inclusion of persons with disabilities in all realms of society and national development.